Good evening, everyone. I heartily welcome all the trainees as well as our respected guests to the 21 days long training program. On behalf of Growing Seed, I am Dr. Subhradip Bhattacharjee. Uh, so we are very happy to start this new training program amidst of this hot summer, upcoming summer season. Starting from our organization, so we are Growing Seed organization. We started as a non-profit social organization since 2011, and since then we are working for the betterment of the society. If we go a little bit of the past, we can tell you that in 2011 we were the students only passed out from class 12 examination and just joined our college. So these days a few students from Dharmanagar, we thought of doing something for the greater good and betterment of the society. So with that thought, we started Growing Seed organization. Initial days, we used to do social awareness program and all other kind of social wellness programs for betterment of the society. And after the time passed, we started initiate several initiatives, including in health as well as in agriculture and allied sector activities. And since then, we never looked back, and day by day, our organization has been increased significantly. Our footprint grew, and now we have present in Tripura as well as other northeast on all over the India. And in last 5 years, we started thinking about addition of new things like in research in agriculture. So in last 5 years, we have started doing research in agriculture, as many of our members are from agriculture background, and as we know that agriculture plays a major role in Indian economy as well as it provides bread and butter to so many people in India, particularly in resource constrained areas and challenging areas like so. I think the network got disconnected for a few minutes. Okay, coming back to our organization, as I have said, we are working for it since many years in this field, and our recent edition is agricultural research. So when we started agricultural research, we found that there is imminent need of data analysis. That already the workflows in different subjects of agriculture, like in genomics, biotechnology, even in conventional subjects like agronomy and soil science, that field is we can say a little bit weaker. So that is becoming a weak link for when it comes to research in government as well as private partnerships. So our being a non-profit organization, and we want to become the companion of the government so that we can reach to the corners of India when it comes to research. And for that, a solid research background and solid research and analytics, data analytics is needed. But as we know that that syllabus as well as the recent advances in analytical techniques are not that much popular, or if it is even it is possible, sometimes it is not going to different universities and people are not getting that much of information. And hopefully we are hoping that we can do something about it. So with that mission, we started this training program. What we'll do in this training program is that we have several world renowned as well as the national level renowned uh, persons who are very good in various kind of analytics, particularly in statistical as well as in biological analysis, and they will try their best to tell us more about this analytical techniques and all these things. And coming to the data analytical parts, I can tell you that I am also being a part of this analytical programs in several institutes, previously in ICR, National Dairy Research Institute, and currently Central Coastal Agricultural Research Institute, is one of the most promising part. If we consider even for the job perspective as well as career perspective, it's a very, very promising part if you're considering it, especially when it comes to that new boom in data science and data analytics program. And if we combine the metagenomics and other things in high throughput sequencing, all these things with that data science, it can give an higher edge in all respects, in research as well as in industries as well as in government. Everyone is looking for that data scientist nowadays. So it's a very important and promising part. So without wasting much of time, I heartily welcome Shri Loken Das, CGM NABARD, who is a very prominent agriculture extension personnel, as well as he has a very keeps very much interest in agriculture extension activities, and he did a lot of um, extension activities in national level. He is a well-known person in national and international level, and as we know him, he is being a great source of inspiration for our organization since long days. When and each and every time we approached him for various kind of development works, and as well as anything, he always encouraged us. Being an organized small organization, we must say that our organization is not that much big, but he always encouraged us that no, you people should do these things. It will be better for the people of this area. So we heartily welcome you, sir, for this training program as an this upcoming training session. I think this will be a very good opportunity for our trainees. So now I transferring this conversation to Shri Lokendar, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I think you all can hear me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Oh. So, good evening, all the participants. It's really good to see an grassroots level, development organization getting into this field of enabling people in different facets of say data analytics, because data is a new oil. As they say, data has become the new oil. So now anything and everything, it's finally data, and everyone knows about everyone, because the data that we generate is available everywhere at any point of time. So all this creates the situation where, if we know how to make use of data, we will definitely become someone like a oil millionaire. So it's all the more required key for even for simple, business purposes. Also nowadays, people require a lot of data and has a mindset of data analytics, because you may be having data. Just for example, in Mumbai, there are areas where there are more number of Bengali people. There are concentration of Bengali people in some areas. Now, around those areas, you will always find advertisements of discounts, etc., during puja period. Otherwise, Mumbai almost has nothing to do with puja. If you look at it, the regional perspective, maybe in Tripura and Assam, it's okay. But beyond that, in other states, these are very specific only. But in Mumbai, you will find a big hoardings, like indicating so much of discount and all there for puja and all that. Now, how does it happen? How is it that an organization decides that we should put this kind of advertisement in a particular locality? Data analytics. So in this particular program of yours, I think it's headed as biological data analytics and bioinformatics. So this is a very technical thing about which I'm not competent to give much of a to discuss much about this. I should not be giving us. I wanted to say I am not competent to give much of comments on this particular set of very highly technical say topics. But then, as a generalized we can say that along with data analysis, bioinformatics is, of course, there are so many different facets to it. Definitely your session experts will take it. But the one particular topic that was passed on to me is the importance of research-based education for development of Indian economy. First of all, if I break it down, importance fine, we understand that. Research-based education. Now, what is research? Then, if we understand research, then we will only know what is research-based education means. Basically, like one of my teachers used to say, it's not important to teach what is there to learn. It is important to teach how to learn, how to gather knowledge, how to gather experience. That is what is more important than teaching a lesson. He was never interested in teaching a lesson. He will always come, tell us some story. In 3/4 of the time, he will complete his lecture related to the class, and 1/4 of them, 1/4 of the period, he would be, telling us, giving us life lessons. And what he taught in the class of the chapters or lessons, which were supposed to be important for the purpose of examination, I don't remember a single word. But the life lessons that he had given, there has seen us from not only me, many of us, even people in the areas where at any point of time they may or may not be alive, they say कि सर का lesson से ही बच के आ गया. So what happens is, there also if we see, what happens is, what he basically taught us, कि to absorb data, observe and absorb. First you observe the data, then absorb the data, absorb the meaning, absorb the importance, absorb the significance, absorb the potential, absorb the possibilities of data. Then you do the analytics on your mind, and then you come up with conclusions based on which you can take decision. If you are on the border, you are in a situation where there is a lot of firings and you are also doing it. Now you have to save yourself and maybe go 2 steps ahead or 2 steps backwards. How do you decide? You observe, absorb, pick up potential of bullet hitting you, potential of bullet not hitting you, probability of a bullet not hitting you, probability of taking a step towards the left so that you get a better view and you can shoot. So all these data you are absorbing and you are analyzing in your mind, and then you are arriving at a decision. No, I should take a 45-degree towards left, and then okay, now then the next step is whatever. So sir used to say, always observe, absorb all the data, and understand its importance, understand its possibilities, then take the next step. Now, if it is a research-based education, so to say, I will say that he has made me, our batchmates in our school hostel, in a way, persons who always does research, because whenever we go anywhere, we had developed a habit of trying to find out what is there, trying to observe. If I'm going towards in a road towards some direction, we'll always try to find out that ye hotel hai, ye hai, ye hai. It is not subconsciously, you all do, everyone does. But we used to do sometimes consciously also, many of the times consciously, because initial period, then of course it has become a habit in a way. But then what do we find? That even then we have to consciously do it, because that has become our habit of consciously doing it. Now absorbing data, then analyzing why something is happening. Now when we go to the why part, like that proverbial W's and H's that everyone has been taught. What is it? Why is it? How is it? When, where it can happen, when it happens, when this result comes. So this is how going inside and trying to, break up, say if it is a problem, then that problem, if it is a situation, then break up into different, subsections. That helps us to understand the root cause. So going to the root, trying to find, the cause and effect relationship. That is what ultimately we do in research. maybe a little bit more if you go the pure, very, very highly scientific manner. But fundamentally, we are trying to know why something is happening in the way it is happening, and how is it that we can say benefit, or how it can become a little destructive for us. So in such situation, if the education system itself, consciously enables the, urge to think, urge to kind of find out the reasons why something happens in the way it happens. How is it that we can make it happen in a more smooth manner, or maybe, like in a more effective manner, which will require definitely less of everything, call it energy, time, or whatever. You can, everything is a set of so many subsets, everything is a function of so many sub-functions. So it can happen. As I look at it, if I say research-based education, what does it mean? I would say it would mean, delving to inside a set to find out which are the subsets that constitutes that set, and also each subset of that larger set being superset of so many subsets. Now, what is there in the subset? Why these subsets are coming together to form this whole set? Kind of things like that. How do I relate the cause and impact, and also how do I relate stimuli and the response? If you prick a particular portion of the plant, something happens. If you prick a particular portion of a animal, something happens. If you prick a particular portion of a human being, something happens. So what happens? Why it happened? Why it happens that way only? Can it happen in another way? That particular thing not happening in the way that is presumed, does it mean something is amiss? Or does it mean something else? Now, I was just trying to make out, because it's also a little bit short notice. I'm not a very academic person. We are basically in the job, so we do the job. We try to do what we do in the best possible manner. But to do what we do, we need to delve into, jump into so many things to find out which will be the best way. And finally, I find that research-based education system would, to me, mean only that education system that imparts in the students, inculcates in the students, instills into the student the ability, urge, and interest to break down the things and then try to find meaning out of it. Try to relate causes with effects. If I see an effect, and I develop the urge to, yes, why this has happened that way? How is it that, this happens this way? Why? What are the factors? So that kind of an inquisitiveness, an innate curiosity, the urge to learn, the urge to go beyond the what is evident. I think that would make the education system, our education system, one of the systems which would definitely help us to come up with the future generations who will not only be inquisitive, analytical, and curious, they will also become innovative. Because innovation is what? Fundamentally, in most of the cases, it is trying to solve some issue. How do you know it is an issue? You have to observe. Ultimately, what do you observe? You observe some scenario. What do we get? What do you get from the scenario? You get some, specific information. And information in the particular area becomes data. Basically, we get some data points, and from those data points we analyze. Of course, maybe in mind, may or may not be in mind always. Sometimes it might be, beyond that also, meaning more organized and orchestrated manner. But what we try to do is we try to analyze those information that we have observed, that we have absorbed, and then out of that try and make some meaning, so that helps us to take a decision that helps us to, ready a roadmap for us to move along. That helps us to solve an issue that everyone is facing. That helps us to carry forward some, initiative, and so on and so forth. I'm not very sure whether I could do justice to the topic that actually Punamji has sent me. Since I am not an academic person, we are just field level practitioners. Yeah, I am from extension background, and we do basically, being in NABARD, I call myself a development practitioner, so to say. Hence, don't want to, go much into it just like that. It would be, like blabbering something otherwise. It would look like that. So I hope I'll, raise my case here. It would be, I'd be happy if someone thinks that with some question may be placed, or someone likes to ask me anything that, the person thinks it's pertinent. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insight. And I just want to emphasize the thing you already said in a single short liner, that data is the new oil. So in coming days, as we are seeing that, I think data will become more than oil. So it's a new field. If we can see that rise of data science in recent years, we can see that in what happened previously, that there was lack of data. The major issue the researcher as well as common people used to face the lack of data. There was no information available on these things. Now in last 15 to 10 years, so that much of data is available in everybody, in agriculture, in anywhere. It becomes a very daunting task to analyze those data and how this data mean. Because when it comes, as I have also, seen in many places, and many of you have seen in different places, that if when we ask about the data, it often comes in a format, in a condition which is raw and not usable. Not it doesn't make so much of sense. So the major issue now becomes to how to make sense make sense of this data. Otherwise, it is just a few numbers and stuff is lying here and there. It doesn't make any sense. But if you critically see, starting from politics to that in agriculture or research, in general, anywhere, people are making use of data in a huge manner. Many people has become, in celebrities are just using data which were already available. And by the way, they did not generated those data. So Air Force, which is the Air Force of Britain, so they
Excuse me, if there are no questions, can I log out, please?
Hello, am I audible, sir? Yeah, Loken sir, yeah, thank you for your valuable speech. Actually,